We've seen a lot more than I expected Symmetra play, and it seems like they're sticking with it. They're really focused on the area control that you can gain with the Symmetra Mei, while on the other side they actually have a Sojourn going into this one, but Mikan immediately going down, and True as well. The Kiriko just doesn't have the burst and sustain to heal up that Wrecking Ball without the Lucio by their side. But it's also interesting.
France has Nico and Ben Best and FD God, bro. I'm sorry, but I think France wins this.
But unfortunately going down early. Now switching
I don't know
over to
any of the
Orisa.
people on
Another
Italy. I think
pick,
I know
but one we've already seen play
Chimera?
And the strategy here from France is not too dissimilar from one that we would see on like Nepal Village, where they just set up shop on the point with the sim turrets and they use the Mei walls to
I think France is just one of the strongest teams. Does Nico still play professionally,
chat? Get anything done, and you can tell that's why they wanted to swap off the Wrecking Ball, because they knew they weren't going to get anything done sticking with that. They have to try and mirror the rush
Nico
in
being
some
on,
kind of way, and it looks like
what was it, Rogue back in the day?
Come out here with to do just that, but it might be too late because France is already marching right at their front door.
Ooh, already they have these ultimates that are coming out, and France, they are doing so much. Even though Ben Best does fall, they're able to weave in and out of the wall, and with the amp matrix dropped down by Freyu, it doesn't even do much here. They're not able to secure anything except for that tank, who is almost to the shatter as well, while on the other hand they are really lacking in terms of that ultimate buildup.
And Italy only really have two abilities that can maybe block the shatter. That's the Ice Wall from Chimera or the Fortify from Andrew. If those abilities get baited out, Ben Best is going to have the freest shatter of his life, and that's going to be another fight win for France, and will be enough to take them into one-fight territory.
I think this is going to be a quick 2-0. I'm going to be honest with you.
And try and build up to that.
I don't want to be disrespectful to Italy, but I think this is going to be a quick 2-0.
Might even just open up here with.
Oh, and there's the Blizzard. That could be a really free shatter, but Yukino does take down Pack, but still the sim turrets are on the point. Both sound barriers coming through to try and counteract the damage from the Blizzard over on France's side, and there's the shatter. Takes down the Orisa, takes down the Mei. Orisa still alive and fighting. The Javelin Spin might do something, but no, it's just going to be a jump into the side of the map and regroup with the rest of the squad.
Yeah, France just essentially mashed their keyboards.
Does France still have an Overwatch League team?
Keys, all the ults coming out here. Italy are going to have only the
Didn't some team move to Vegas
ult to try and get this contested, but France isn't even letting them touch the point, just playing gatekeeper.
Which team moved to Vegas?
Not letting them get through the window, not letting them try and take
Paris
any routes
is now
there.
Vegas.
Some early pickoffs there to try and just negate any sort of
that tells you how much I know about Overwatch League.
Completely locking the point down, owning it entirely their own, and that was the map where, you know, this Mei rush was the least favorable.
Kirby, Priest of the Master Prime sub as well.
You gotta believe that going into Night Market, and if, you know, Italy is able to pull out Night Market somehow, if we go into Control Center, France might just have this in the bag, unless Italy has an ace up their sleeve, or, you know, unless they just kind of wake up. Maybe first round they were also
You are so out of the loop, it's insane. Bro, I don't follow Overwatch League because I can't stream to Overwatch League.
If they're able to find
their mojo, allowed it like
they
this,
kind of have to if they want to take this
I would be watching it every day.
Yeah, now Mikan has switched back onto the Lucio.
It's crazy that the Overwatch League doesn't use its streamers to bridge the gap between casual play and pro play. Wow,
yeah,
who would have thought that would happen? Maybe Valorant.
On the other side,
they
have Symmetra of their own, and they're just all contesting right on the point. Yukino has been given free reign to build up the charge on Symmetra's primary fire, though, and it's a lot of damage being laid down, especially with the Reinhardt shield in play. However, Italy still forced back, and unfortunately, the turrets from Yukino are unable to remain on the point. So France, once again, given free reign to set up shop here.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Italy on the outside looking in. This comp is great for defending, but not always great for trying to be on the offensive here. Not great for flipping the point in your favor, especially when the turrets are all set up. It's gonna have to be a TP there, but they lose two just trying to take it.
Ooh, they do trade for reviews, but with FD God still alive, that's just enough sustain, especially for a squad that is so tanky with the Symmetra and Mei pick in tandem. There's just a lot of, there is just on a war of attrition. They definitely do win, even if it is only that Lucio.
Nikon is doing a great job finding some of those picks. I'm glad that you bring up the Lucio, but it's not going to be enough because you can't rely on your
I'm
Lucio
gonna be honest with you. I don't think this is gonna be close, chat.
The DPS and the tank have to do their part here. Meanwhile, France, everyone's doing their part. They're about to have all of their ultimates here, especially if this fight goes a little bit long, which, you know, it looks like it might with the amount of sustainability here. An early Blizzard going to come out from Nico here, though, and yeah, Italy, they're in trouble.
Yeah, Chimera is able to hide behind that wall for the Blizzard, and Yukino actually finds a pick off the back of it, but it's the Symmetra. Both of the Symmetra is going to go ahead, pop the ultimate, weave in and out to try and find a fight, but France, all of the players now up. There's a shatter in the back pocket for Ben Best, but being shredded down right now. Now we can find a pick and pack as well, setting up shot with the turret. Italy. So much damage being laid down up front by Italy, and now just going to go ahead, destroy France's teleporter and make sure they have to take that long walk back from spawn.
And that's a really good fight for Italy because France invests 3 ultimates and come up with zilch, nada. They're gonna have that shatter and that beat, which are 2 huge ultimates, but you will definitely take that over having to deal with the Blizzard and the Amp Matrix and the Sim Wall. On top of that, they're gonna have a Blizzard and an Amp Matrix of their own, plus Mikan's beat here. Early Amp Matrix gonna try and pressure Ben Best back, and that forces the beat out of France.
What a push by Andrew. That was actually
just
smart.
Just javelin spin to take Ben Best right off the edge of the map.
Andrew's
and now France
actually
missing their tank means they're going to have to just retreat a little bit further. Nico is already in the thick of it, though, with this May.
Come on, Nico. Just one shot, bro. All you needed was one shot.
It's a little bit of a staggered spawn as well for France's players, and it's giving Italy a lot of this free charge, making them a lot more secure on this point. And once again, the Symmetra May, once they have hold, their defense is just so strong.
Yeah, and now it is France that are going to have to try and find a way in. We might be looking at a Blizzard for a Blizzard here between Chimera and Nico, and whoever gets the better of the two without a sound barrier on either side to sustain might be what dictates this next fight. We'll have to see who ends up pulling the trigger first. It looks like Nico wants to, but they've only really isolated Andrew there, so Chimera's actually going to come in and use his.
He hit the May ice block!
Oh, yeah, the Blizzard on both sides. Both of the tanks have been frozen, but it's France that has the backup here, and they're able to destroy the rest of the Sim turrets as well. Yukino charging up the primary fire on the Reinhardt shield, but FD got allowed to just
come on, Italy. Come on, Italy. I want you guys to bring this W.
Gets taken down. The rest of Italy regrouping, but Ben Best wants to take that early engagement.
They have Sim Wall. Sim Wall is going to be huge, especially against Window.
France, it's very costly. They have to invest nearly everything. They're going to have the Amp Matrix, but Italy can just section that off with a Sim Wall here, and they managed to take the lead, so we're at roughly 80 to 90% for both teams. Terra Surge going to come out, and here comes the Sim Wall. That Amp Matrix is kind of useless now. Yukino going to fall, though.
Yeah, that Amp Matrix was a little bit unfortunate, but Italy pops theirs a little bit later, trying to get that big damage onto Ben Best, who just hides behind the May wall after the fact, and now the sound barrier dropping the beat is FD God.
I think this is a GG
France
for Italy.
Has so much sustain left over. Mikan has the sound barrier of their own, but still shredded so low by the amount of damage that France
He's gonna have shattered here soon too.
Seconds. Now we see the Pharah has been switched out, but Yukino can't find any value. Reviews is actually the one to find and secure the pick.
Oh, Poco isn't.
Don't even pretend.
Oh, come on. What
Wait, why is Italy running a Sim?
Fun,
oh,
you know?
probably on.
Like
they're probably on offense.
Get buffed, you know. He got little tiny buffs. So maybe he's viable now? Question mark.
Yeah, he's less of a throw pick now and more of like an underhanded toss pick a little bit, where you're not quite an MLB pitcher if you're playing him, but you're definitely still
Dry King on. Appreciate the massive tier 1 and Marsh. Appreciate the massive 10 months, my friend.
Going to move over to the Brigitte, much more expected. Italy, like I expected, is going to play a dive composition here with Yukino on the Widowmaker. Interesting, but it looks like that's going to be a swap there once they realize that there's not going to be a lot of targets to go through and a defense matrix to try and chunk through. So it's going to be an Ash Tracer mirror on either side now.
Ash Tracer? Yo, if people are running Ash, let me in, bro.
But the ultimate just has so much more presence, especially on these escort maps where you always want to be capping this point and getting as much time as possible in between each checkpoint. It's just having Bob on the field, having one more person to focus and so much more health is really helpful for both of these teams to have on board. Already, though, we are seeing that it is a little bit harder for France.
I'm gonna change something real quick. You can actually hear the comms. Okay, never mind. Let's just go back.
Moi, je peux contester.
Find anything, but does actually find Nico getting a little bit too aggressive here. That might be enough. Without that pressure on your backline, you might now be able to try and put some pressure on. You can see they want to go for the dive, but a great move from FD God to keep that monkey at bay. France is still holding the high ground thus far.
Yeah, and it's really helpful that they have that Ana with the bio nade to kind of anti their
I thought my
front line when
strat
they're
would
trying to
actually
go in for
work.
those dives, so they don't want to aggress any further without the help of the healers, since they are still a little bit more long range, and you want reviews being kept very safe in that back line. Now they have been able to push all the way to the underpass though.
I do also kind of want to point out, you know, we didn't really get the update that there was going to be some swaps in here, but BenBest is out for France, and Poco is in. A very handsome tank line indeed, but under a lot of pressure, despite the nano, is Poco, gets antied, and is potentially about to get demeched here if the pressure continues. Italy, meanwhile,
there's no way they get the
Chimera
C9.
just kind of backcapping here and, you know, forced away with the dynamite, but gets significant cart progress.
Yeah, they've been holding this high ground really well, but they didn't really contest the cart as it went to the underpass, and now they're all the way past and almost at that point. Oh, that is a good stick from Nico. And now Mikan out of the fight. They are looking at a rally from FD God as well, allowing them to drop down onto this lower ground. Nico now locked into a fight with the enemy Tracer, but going to turn around and try and get Rajan off of that back line.
Yeah, he's definitely off of that
Try
back
the Italian comms, they might be better. I'm gonna be honest with you, the only person I know is Poco and Nico, and Poco's the only one I know that streams. I don't know anyone on Team Italy.
The self-destruct just to get the remake.
I need to make more friends.
And that's pretty much all of France's ultimates running dry here. They're gonna have a nano boost to try and defend here, but they had a lot more going into this, and I think you would have liked to hold on to that self-destruct just as you're pushing case of emergency.
I think my life is already
Italy
going downhill when Meg is one of my friends. So.
Now, other than just that nano boost, the rest of the squad seems to be building them up very quickly, especially those DPSs, which can dish out a lot of damage, and France doesn't really have that bailout button. They don't have the rally up, and the nano boost, it's only a single target bailout, and it doesn't really stop them from dying, it just makes them take less damage. So it's definitely going to be tough. Rajin now going to try and start that initiation. Chimera hit by a huge bio nade and tied for a second, delaying that engagement, but the Bob now coming in from Italy means that a lot of damage being forced through France, and FD God does fall. Avo is the next after Rajan is able to get a good jump onto that high ground to take out the
I miss AKM actually. That's a person I haven't seen in a very long time. AKM, he was also on Rogue.
Italy, they're able to win the fight
France.
and take that checkpoint.
That was some really good Bob placement there from Yukino. There wasn't really anybody that could dislodge that Bob. Bob was contesting the cart and putting out the pressure at anybody that wanted to try and come through. So Italy able to cap the point here, and true to their instincts on the previous iteration of Watchpoint Gibraltar, they want to keep the snowball going, so they're going to try and hold this high ground here and make France try and work for it, and meanwhile push the cart hopefully at least past this high ground here, trying to punish Poco's aggression to help seal it, and almost losing the mech there. Poco able to hold on. Oh, but that's a huge nade.
Oh, the primal rage to come through the sleep immediately deterred by France, though. They're able to just wake up the monkey, and he's taking a lot of space on the high ground. They're not able to cap once again. It's only Nico who's kind of weaving in and out here, and Poco is trying to come in to try and help, but it's really just weaving around the corner and not going too far in and getting the dives on the back lines that they might have wished with this Diva
That was a good
pick.
dynamite.
Now both of
Top
the
left.
rallies to come through and try and keep their teams alive as they start the brawl inside the aircraft carrier, while the Tracers are just fighting for the low ground and fighting for control of this point. Now dropping down the bubble and weaving in and out. There's a little bit of that anti-nade. It's going to force Rajan back, and Nico finishes the job for the team. Now without the tank, without that heat sink in the middle of the squad,
Bro,
is going
I'm
to
gonna
be
be honest with you.
having to press S and just back all the way up.
These casters are doing a great job. I don't know how the fuck they cast. I can't do the whatever I see, I talk about. I can't do it. My brain doesn't move that fast.
We're down to under a minute. That's going to be massive, especially considering
casting is fucking hard, dude.
But every time Rajan tries to follow up on those anti-nades, they're just corralling him inside of that shuttle where there's no support and he has to back up. He can't fully commit. And France, they're able to just hold strong here. And again, going back to that
someone said it earlier. My casting would just be like, oh shit!
And look at the aggressive positioning right now from Poco.
Oh!
And Nico as well with the pulse bomb gets quite a bit of damage down. However, on the other side, they still have that nano onto Rajon, and they're trying to force the monkey through, but even then, the anti-nade is going to slow them for a second.
Look at that.
But with reviews now out of the fight, thanks to that monkey, they are going to be able to get a little bit more space. They're going to counteract both Bobs and try and they just take each other down. Not much value founded by that. It's just simply ulti, counter ulti.
Freyu gonna go ahead and use the Swift Step in to try and get Rajon backed up to full HP. That monkey was looking very low, and that was a very pounceable target here. Gonna go ahead and try and jump in the back line, but Poco is gonna go ahead and trade out the back line, go for the enemy one, and now Italy, they're on the back foot. The Primal Rage being forced out, but they've lost
Poco does have bomb, though. This is actually really good if he puts bomb on the... Oh, and they use bubble. If he puts bomb on the top of the cart, he wins.
Going crazy on this Tracer. Allowed
he doesn't even need to. His team already won, but...
The self-destruct forcing through that area.
Damn, wait a minute. When did Nico get a good Tracer?
But all of them are dead. So over time,
when did Nico get a good Tracer? Wasn't he the Genji player?
One checkpoint and force
halfway and then Soon was the Tracer player?
The more things change, the more they stay the same. That's yet another attacking push stalling out towards the latter half of the hangar
27 months.
That's
March,
very much the tale
months.
of Watchpoint Gibraltar pretty much since its inception. And Italy, despite having a slightly more favorable method of getting into getting through this choke point you currently see on your screen, it's not enough to help tip them over the scales because France are playing the positioning excellently. Like I said,
chat, you guys are saying AKM was the fucking Genji. If I wanted to see someone not do anything for fucking 4 minutes on a hero, I'll just ask for one of your fucking VODs, chat.
Coming up with any
AKM was not
which
the
is
Genji.
insane to say because Bionade is one of the strongest abilities in the game. Typically, if you purple someone, they die. But if you can't get on top of someone who is purple, you can't kill them. They'll find a way. They'll end up living through it here, and that's what France has been able to do just through sheer force of positioning. So Italy looking to try and best this defense here, try and hold them strong, hopefully go for a full point A hold, and if they're able to do that, we're going to a map 3, but if we get to the end of point A, it's not looking all that likely. It's going to be tight here. I want to see what they come out here with.
I don't think.
Okay, that Symmetra is definitely interesting. I feel like it might be a teleport play. Okay. It doesn't look like it's a teleport play. They are actually playing the Symmetra question mark? No. Okay.
Just teleporting everybody to the high ground so you can have Avo with this sight line here, and you don't have to like try and use abilities to take this high ground for free. And you can see Italy already forced to back up and give ground because of the threat of one of those arrows coming through and just hitting someone with a headshot.
Yeah, and there is nobody on that low ground either to be contesting the push for that cart. They do have someone down there now. It's Chimera, who is looking to try and cap a little bit and not allow them to take the underpass since they really have no sight lines from the high ground in. But even then, Rajon trying to dive that back line along with the Hanzo. There's a little bit of that bio nade that's going to put the purple health, but they're not have any sight lines. Once again, they can't finish off the kills off the back of that play from Freyu. So it's all left up to the tanks as they're just forcing Poco through, trying to take control of this overpass. And even though that they did get purpled, they're able to negate a lot of the damage with the defense matrix. And now the
good fucking tracking by Poco. God damn.
Down to the low ground.
That was some good fucking tracking right there.
But Nico GDH being neutralized means that it's going to be a lot harder to get the monkey out of the fight. And now without a without the mecha, it's Baby Diva going down. Poco out of the fight.
So we're talking a lot about Freyu's anti-nades and how there wasn't a whole lot of follow-up there, but the beautiful thing about being on defense is there doesn't really have to be. As long as you're able to hit nades that are big enough to slow the enemy down and make them think twice about poking their heads out, you're doing enough to bleed more time off the clock. We've gotten nearly 2 minutes off, and France haven't made all that much progress. As I say that, Nico is currently sneaking off with the cart, and Italy's going to be forced to give up a little bit of high ground, and also they're on his life.
France still trying to push to the first point. Italy is just contesting through these rooms on the side and on that high ground off the back, but they're not really touching just yet. Chimera is blinking in and out, but isn't actually trying to touch through, and Avo actually getting a headshot off on Yukino. The Ashe now out of the fight, the hit scan and the high ground surrendered in off the back of the Dragon Strike. Now Primal Rage is ready,
France needs to win this fucking fight,
these teams is going to
or
be
it's going to be an
L.
L.
Them through just a
oh,
little
they actually capped. Never mind.
Coming back to full health right after.
But they're
down
getting
to
fucking
1
pushed
HP.
back in spawn.
Oh my god, the back cap was there.
Wasn't
you were
the C9?
absolutely right, and now Freyu going down as well off the
Oof.
back of the Bionade. They just didn't notice.
That's
that
tough,
there
bro.
Was, Nico was just
I
sitting
didn't
on
even
top
notice.
Of the
That's
point,
tough,
and
bro.
And then when they turned around, it was too little, too late.
That back cap is massive though,
Italy-
because this means
Italy
that
could have
France
won
has
that.
the opportunity to do what Italy tried to do.
could have won that
and
if they
that's
just
take this high
stayed on
ground
point,
and
got
not
that
let the
guy off
defenders
point,
have
and then
it.
pushed them
That's
back
gonna
into
let
that
them
room and
roll
got the
cart
kills.
all
They
the
could have
way
won
through
that.
to that overpass again, and you know Italy, they have to try and
my
find something
God.
to stop this, and it's not going to be Yukino because Avo has his exact latitude and longitude written down at all times.
Okay, but the switch onto the Mercy is really interesting here too, because you don't really have these high ground area control characters that you would want to pair the Mercy with, but they did use that resurrection to get Yukino back into the fight.
Where's Nico?
And yep, Nico is backcapping.
No
again.
way, he's backcapping again, bro.
Yukino is back though.
There's no way they backcap
They
again.
noticed this time, and they're not going to allow them to get past.
They're able to sniff it out this time, but look how close the cart got just from that back cap. Now, if like anyone blinks for too long, France can just push it that last couple meters. You know, Italy, they have to be on their P's and Q's for the rest of the game here. And look at the ult bank that France has. Yeah, they can just go ahead and heat those dragons out to try and force the positioning off the high ground for Italy, because they can afford to. They're coming up on 4 more ultimates.
Yeah, and there's the nano boost from both of these sides, right? As well as the rally, but Meekin's already
Yeah,
down. And
never
even
mind.
then,
France
that
wins this. That's a
Valkyrie
GG
wouldn't
right
have the
there.
same effect that the rally would.
That's
and
a quick
France
2-0,
just winning
bro.
the fight.